Hey guys, see that right there? The big bright yellow stuff right there? That's right. I went to Bass Pro and bought me some fly line. But you know, you go to the fly section in the Bass Pro Shops, Outdoor World, whatever you want to call that place. It's not like out there where the bass fishing and everything else is. This fly line is behind the counter. Somebody has to get it for you, as with a lot of stuff in the fly fishing section, because everything back there costs a lot of money. So I picked up some fly line. The guys, of course, asked me what I want, you know, and because I don't know a lot about fly fishing, because I've only done it once or twice, and I've casted a handful of times. I've caught some little fish on a fly rod, but I would never consider myself a fly fisherman. So I told him that I was, you know, just getting back into it. I've only done it once or twice in my life. So he recommended this weighted forward number 8 floating. So he said it'll be easier for me to cast, so it's a bigger line weighted in the front. And you know, with fly fishing, you're not actually casting the lure because these flies are like feathers. So you're actually casting the line. So, and it's weighted forward, so the weight is at the front part of the line, and it tapers down. It gets skinnier. I don't know if you can see that, but the line that's farther back on the spool is thinner than that. So anyway, this is what I got for the line. I came home and put it on the reel. It was 90 feet, and I had to take some of the backing off. That orange stuff there's fly line backing, and that's only on there in case you hook into some monster and it spools off, because that's not going to happen. But it spools off all the line, and you have to that's like reserve line. So anyway, I'll get in here and I'll show you the flies that I purchased. And so they'll start with this one right here, and I took the tags off of these already, but this one, it's a pretty cool little fella. If I get it focused here. At first I thought it was a frog, but it's actually, the tag on it said it was a swimming shad. So and it's got a little weedless bit on it there, but it looks pretty cool. And I mean, these things are feather light, and like I said, you're not casting this, you're casting the line. And there's some physics and geometry to it of how that works and why it needs to be that way, but I'll leave that to you to research. So I purchased this one. I purchased this one right here is a cricket. It was starting to crawl out of my hand. You see that? So that's a cricket. That was pretty cool. I wish I could make this kind of stuff. This is amazing. If you want to see some artistic fly making, do a search on YouTube for you know, fly tying. It's amazing what people can do with this stuff. Let's see, the other one I purchased was this frog right here. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool for a frog. It's like foam. I've never seen these before. It's a pretty good size hook. I don't know what size it is. It's also got some monofilament on there to help it be weedless, which doesn't seem to work too good, but it might. We'll see. So that's that one and that cricket are the ones I bought. Funny enough, this one I purchased. I told you I was into fly tying, and I'll dig out the stuff that I have here in a minute. Well, I wasn't into fly tying. I wanted to get into it, and this I ordered a bunch of fly tying materials, and I think this is one of the flies that was in there. This looks store-bought, and I don't think anybody made this one, and it looks like a big old bumblebee or something. I don't even know. This one was in there. It's the same type of lure that I just held, but this one's all black. And this one with this long tail, similar to the one I just held up, but with this long tail. I guess a mouse maybe. I don't know. Now these little bugs right here, let me slide this over here so you can see them all. When I was a kid, we used to fish with these on cane poles with you know, a bit of line on the end of it, and then you just drop this in the water and just twitch the end of the rod, and it would, you know, twitch this across the water, and the bluegill, little panfish would tear these up. So I went by Walmart and grabbed some of them because I couldn't find those at the Bass Pro Shop, and I couldn't find them at Dick's Sporting Goods either. I had to go to Walmart to find those. I also picked up some tapered leaders, which is necessary. Just like the fly line itself, these are thicker in the back, and the 2 feet towards the front of these taper down to really thin monofilament line. Because the way the fly line works, if you imagine you got, this is the end of your fly line, and then you got a tapered leader out here, and you want it to get as skinny as you can, so all the fly line is thick, thin, 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 monofilament, thin, thin, all the way to the end, because that fly is like a feather. So when you're casting it, you want all that energy to flow like this all the way out, so it lays that fly right on the water. So that's why you cast this stuff like that. So it's just imagine all the energy is rolling like this until it gets to the end. You know, I'm not doing it too well, and it unravels all that energy just to drop that feather-light fly right there on top of the water. So I got 2 of those, and you can make these. They make a spool of this stuff, but yeah, I'm an amateur, I'm a rookie, I don't know exactly what I'm doing. So I just bought 2 of these, and you know, I think it's about 2 feet worth of where it tapers. So if you make mistakes and you keep having to cut and cut and cut, eventually this won't be tapered anymore and you should replace it. Now this is a fly that I actually did make. Believe it or not, I made this fly, and even with the eyes. And I'll show you my fly tie material here in a minute. So my intentions with this fly were to go down to the right below the fall line of the Rappahannock River when they have the hickory shad run, and I think it's in the spring, but that never happened. So I still have 1 fly, and my goal was just to go down there and catch one of those hickory shad on a fly that I make. And you can tell that it's sloppy, it's crooked, the wrapping is bad, but I'm going to take that with me as well. Hopefully I'll catch a fish. So I'm not taking as much of all the stuff that I showed you in my milk crate the other day, because that's just entirely too much stuff for where I'm going. I'm only, you know, mainly going after some panfish and some maybe some smallmouth at the same time. So let me get this fly tying material out and I'll show you what I have purchased in the past. Alright, so my brother bought this for me years ago. I mean years ago. So much long ago I don't even remember how many years it was. I had to have either been in Alaska or on my way to Alaska. It may have, so it was probably between 92 and 94. And a lot of this stuff I didn't even know how to use half of these tools in this thing, you know. But I have you know, made the 1 fly, which was cool, you know. And this is a whip finish. I don't even know how to use this thing. It's such a skill to be able to use these tools. It's amazing. I encourage you to look on YouTube and for the way these people tie these flies. I mean, look at all these tools. You got some nice scissors, and I don't want to embarrass myself and name any of this stuff. The threads. This is cool. The way this thread thing goes here. It just sits in there like that, and this is how you wrap it around your hook, you know. And you got some tweezers. This is the stand here. Oh look, I've got check it out. So I've even got a hook in there that I started to make something. I don't even know what I was getting ready to make, but you see how sloppy that is. But you know, it's fun. It's something new. I think it's something I'd enjoy if I had more time and I knew what I was doing. I should probably take, and this broke. This should have been a little loop. But one of these days I'll take a fly tying course, and I put that in there so I know which one I had. So I'll take a fly tying course, so at least I can learn something, some little bit about, you know, some basic fly tying, because it's relaxing, you know. Let's see here. I'll show you. So here's some of the material right here that I think I bought this off of eBay. Somebody was getting rid of a bunch of stuff, and this is just different types of animal hair that's been dyed, you know. And it's real. This is real stuff. You can still see the skin that's stuck on there. I think it's deer. I think it's deer hair. Some of it. This even smells not bad, but it has a smell to it. So you know, this is all different hair that you can use for, you know, deer hair for tying flies. Interesting colors. Pretty cool. So this came with that kit. This was also part of it. Now it didn't come in these trays. I put everything in these trays. Some different threads. Some of this material right here. I can't even remember what this stuff is called, so forgive me for not knowing. All different colors of that. Some of this is this not even, yep, just different. I don't even know. This is for legs. You know what I mean? I don't even know half of what this stuff is for. A bunch of different hooks, which is pretty cool. It came with all this, all these hooks, everything in here. And I got it pretty cheap. There's another example of me playing around trying to learn how to do this stuff. Yeah, just all kinds of cool. I mean, I got everything here I need. I don't have a lot of feathers. Well, I do have some feathers right here. But, you know, if you can't even wrap the hook with the thread, why do you need feathers to try to make a fly? This right here, these are eyes that you saw on my lure, and these are just different fittings to go on. I don't even know what to call this stuff. I know what to call this because right there it is. That's hairline dubbing. The most popular colors. How about that? And you just pull what you want through these holes, I guess. It's pretty cool stuff. Anyway, one of these days I'll tie a fly and it'll look cool and I'll take it out and catch a fish. But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about, was the fact that my fly rod's ready. I have some flies for the river on Saturday. I reorganized my crate a little bit because I'm not taking all that plastic worms out with me and all that terminal tackle. I'm just taking a few flies and a few grubs and a few swim baits for some in case the fly fishing doesn't go well. So anyway, I'll be seeing you guys Saturday on the water.